Okay, this video is going to be about self-awareness. Self-awareness is the ability to be able to know what is going on with you, mind, body, and soul. Okay. Self-awareness is being able to check in with yourself, because a lot of the times we don't really check in with ourselves because we have so much going on from day to day life. We have the children, we have work, we have this, we have a business to run. It's so much going on in the world, period. Like, just in the world, period. There's so much going on. And it sometimes can feel so chaotic that sometimes we forget to check in with ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we forget to just put a pause button on everything around us and just really figure out what's going on with us, mind, body, and soul, and to really, really get some self awareness about ourselves. So, this is what this video is about. It's more about checking in with yourself, mind, body, and soul. A lot of the times when people ask us, well, how are we doing? A lot of the times the first reaction we'll say is, okay, I'm fine, I'm doing good, right? But if you really, really pay attention, the one question that's rarely asked is, how are we really doing? And a friend asked me that, and they said, Danielle, how are you doing? Mind, body, and soul. And when they asked me that, it just kind of dawned on me that a lot of the times we don't even know how we are really doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, the surface level, we think and we know that we're doing fine, right? But if you really get still and figure out self awareness for yourself, you can really start to check in with yourself to see, how am I doing mentally? How am I doing physically? How is my soul doing? You know what I'm saying? And that's what this video is. It's really getting to the root core of checking in with ourselves, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. How is our soul doing? How is our mental doing? How is our body doing? How are we really, really doing? And this is what self-awareness is. Self-awareness is more simple than what people think. And sometimes we have the habit of making things a lot harder than what they are, but it's really not. Self-awareness is just the ability to really, really check in with yourself to see, how am I doing? How is my mental doing? How is my body doing? How is my soul doing? How is my spirit doing? All of that. And that's all self-awareness is. Because when you can check in with yourself and really, really get still to figure out how you're doing, you'll know the areas where you need to rest. You'll know the areas where you need to do something different. You'll know the areas where you need to nurture yourself. You'll know the areas where you need to find peace. You'll know the areas where you're struggling at. You'll see the areas of where you need to get more clarity and more wisdom and understanding. You'll see the areas where you need to be able to get more in a flow and a routine. You know what I'm saying? This is all what self-awareness will bring to you. Self-awareness will bring clarity. Self-awareness will bring wisdom. Self-awareness will bring you to a place of enlightenment within yourself for you to know what is going on with you. What is going on with you mentally? What is going on with you emotionally? What is going on with your body? What is going on with your soul, your spirit? This is what self-awareness will bring. It will bring you to a place of truth for you to identify and to know what is going on within you. And sometimes, because we are so caught up with the day-to-day routine, because we are so caught up with everything else that's going on around us, we can lose ourselves. We can lose ourselves. And the next thing you know, we are exhausted. We overwhelmed. We don't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? We find ourselves losing our temper more quicker. We find ourselves in a state of confusion. You know what I'm saying? You know how it is if you've ever been in a situation where you've been so overwhelmed and exhausted and depleted, right? All of a sudden you get overwhelmed, you get fatigue, you get anxiety, you can't sleep, you can't rest. Your mind is just going 1,000 miles per hour. And no matter what you do, you can't find that peace, right? And I'm pretty sure all of us have been there. And the reason why that happens is because God is showing us that you have not checked in with yourself. You have not taken the time to get still, to get quiet, and to figure out what's going on with you mentally. You have not taken the time to get still and get quiet with God, to allow God to show you what's going on with you emotionally, what's going on with your body, what's going on with your spirit, your soul. And when we don't allow ourselves to check in with ourselves, when we don't get still, when you don't get in a place of silence and allowing God to show you what's going on within you, when we don't get in a place of self-awareness daily. Self-awareness is not just you getting in a place of self-awareness once a month. Every day you open your eyes, every day you open your eyes and you get the opportunity to breathe another breath. Those moments and those seconds are the times where you should be ready in a place to get still and just have your time with God and to get in a place of self-awareness so God can show you, how do I feel mentally? How do I feel emotionally? How do my soul and my spirit feel? So I wanted to make this quick little video because I think sometimes we really, really miss the mark of understanding how powerful self-awareness is. Self-awareness is so powerful where it will bring you can be in a state of confusion, right? So everything can be in a state of confusion around you. But what self-awareness will do when you get still and sit with God and allow God to show you the self-awareness about yourself, what it will do, it will bring you into a place of peace when everything else around you is chaotic. It will bring you to a place of stillness when everything else around you is still moving. You know what I'm saying? It will bring you to a place of comfort and love when it seems like everything else around you is full of darkness. It will bring you to a place of light. You see what I'm saying? When everything else is around you is, when you can't understand what's going on around you, or you can't understand the depths of why certain things are happening the way they happening. Self-awareness and you spending that time with God and getting still with God and getting in that place of silence for God to give you the self-awareness that will bring you to a place of understanding. It will bring you to a place of wisdom. It will bring you to a place of enlightenment so that you can understand why and what is happening. God will give you the enlightenment, the wisdom to know how to go in a situation and how to maneuver it so that it works for your good. That's what self-awareness does. And sometimes self-awareness may be a small dose, but it can be a powerful thing if you use it. And if you allow yourself to use self-awareness effectively, it can be powerful. It's times where I never knew how to use self-awareness. I promise. It was times in my life where I just never knew how to use self-awareness. I never really understood the depths of self-awareness. And I think for me, I really, really started to come in a place of self-awareness like 2 years ago. And it really started to teach me the things that was going on within me. You know, it really started to teach me that it wasn't the external things, it wasn't the outside things around me. It was what was going on within me that was manifesting on the outside around me, if that makes sense. So a lot of times even what self-awareness will do, it will teach us and show us that whatever's going on the outside of us, it is a reflection of what's going on the inside of us. You know what I'm saying? And so when we come to a place of self-awareness, when you learn how to operate and use self-awareness effectively and get still with God, it's like it will show you how to look at the things on the outside of you, and it will show you how to maneuver. It will show you what you're looking at. And this is the most powerful thing about self-awareness that sometimes people don't even know and understand. Self-awareness will give you the greatest discernment of your lifetime. When we get in a place of self-awareness, when I say to you guys, self-awareness will increase your discernment so strong and so powerful. Because you got to realize now that you're in touch with yourself, now that you are operating in a place of self-awareness with God and the universe and the angels. You see what I'm saying? Now that internally you are in a place of self-awareness, internally, everything on the outside of you, you will be able to identify so precise and so on point. Why? Because you now have self-awareness within you. And that self-awareness that's within you will manifest on the outside of you. And you will be able to see things in a totally different perspective, a totally different light. So self-awareness will bring you to a place of discernment that will cause you to see things that you couldn't see before. It will cause you to manifest things that you didn't even know you could manifest. It will cause you to identify things that once confused you. It will cause you to see things in a new perspective with a new set of eyes that you never could before. And that's what self-awareness will do for you. So I encourage everybody to check in with yourself. Even if you just take 5 minutes a day, even if you take 10 minutes out your day, if you want to take 10 minutes in the morning, in the afternoon, just whatever you do, take a couple of minutes to check in with yourself, please. Check in with yourself mentally. Check in with yourself emotionally. Check in with your spirit. Check in with your soul. Check in with your body. Really get some self-awareness and check in with yourself, because here is the key factor. When you check in with yourself, you're not just checking in with yourself. You're checking in with God. That's the key. Self-awareness is who God is in us. So when we get self-awareness and we check in with ourselves, we're checking in with God. And we're allowing God to give us the guidance and the understanding to understand what's going on within us. And that's what self-awareness will do for you. It will bring you to a place of understanding that nothing that you're doing is in vain. Self-awareness will bring you to a place of knowing who you are, what you desire, what you want. Self-awareness will bring you to a place of identifying things and being able to approach it in a way where it's going to be effective and powerful. Self-awareness will bring you to a place of identifying stuff within yourself that you could never identify before. Self-awareness will bring you to a place of understanding habits and things that you do and why you do it. Self-awareness will open you up mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, your soul. And it will help you identify the things that you need to change and the things that you are operating in that you have seen yourself grow and evolve into. Self-awareness is understanding who God is within you. And the reason why sometimes we don't understand how to check in with ourselves is because we become busybodies. Everybody always got to put their hands in something. And that's the key. People think that the more busier they are, the more they're productive. And I remember, I think it was I don't know who it was that said this, but somebody said that people think that the more busier they are, the more they got their hands in doing, they think that that's what's going to make them productive. But What if I was to tell you that the less you do, the more productive you become? The less you do, the more quicker you manifest. The less you do, the more quicker you're able to check in with yourself and identify things more quicker than ever. And that's what self-awareness is in a whole. Checking in with yourself, to check in with God, to see and identify what's going on within you. Mind, body, and soul. So I encourage everybody to check in with yourself. Really do some inventory on your self-awareness. And check in with God.